Hey man, say man, y'all already know it is the big boss hog, boss dog, K-Paul through the door, here to talk this boxing, fuck my soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't last, good people do, don't off yourself. Call them in the fire line, maybe you matter. Peak game, peak game. 84s on West Wing. Y'all know what this is. We clutched up, we clutched out. You know, we're talking about that boxing. Before I get into the main entree, the main dish, gotta introduce our second host, future Hall of Famer, legend. Salute to all our soldiers. Thank y'all for your service. Brody on the hustle, aka Coach B. Let them know how you doing, man.
Hey, what it is, folks, just like K-Po said, we clutched up, we clutched out. Y'all know we here to talk about. We here to talk about that boxing, man. Y'all know what I'm finna tell y'all next. Hey, God wake y'all up. He put breath in y'all body. Everything else is extra. Get up, do you, take care of the fam. With that being said, I'm finna toss it back to K-Po. Let's go ahead, continue the show, and let's let them know how we flow.
Already, man. We got a series of topics. This finna be a long episode, but y'all already know we chop and screw. We from Houston, you know what I mean? That's what go down. But let's start off first. Jake Paul, right? Fresh off the cancellation of the Javante Tank Davis fight, has finalized a deal with Anthony Joshua. It's a heavyweight bout. This is not an exhibition. This fight counts. It's gonna be 8 rounds, 3 minute rounds. Joshua, the stipulations is he has to come in weighing under 250 pounds. So he got to be, I think the contract wears like 245 or something like that. Um, this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, coach, um, let us know how you feel about this fight, right? Anthony Joshua is coming on. He hasn't fought since last year, so he's coming off a long layoff. How do you feel about this fight? Will you be watching it? And who do you got winning this fight? Let me know something.
First and foremost, I will not be watching this fight. Y'all know why I stand with Jake Paul. Let me give y'all a brief background. I have no problem with Jake Paul, the promoter. He's an excellent promoter. I wish he would do more promoting than fighting. I love his promotional biz he puts on. It's wonderful. It has a nice flow. It doesn't have too much to it. It doesn't bring unnecessary, unwanted attention. It doesn't have concerts, yada yada yada. I love him as a promoter. As a YouTuber, I love him as a YouTuber. You know, all that good stuff is good for him. But Jake Paul as a fighter, I really don't like it because I feel like it's a mockery of the sport of boxing. I just don't understand how he keeps getting these fighters who's in conversations, who's still active, who's still doing other things for the sport of boxing. But at the same time, I am glad in the sense that the Tank fight has been canceled. That way Tank can get himself recentered, remastered, and hopefully he takes on a new shape, new form, and bring himself back to the real sport of boxing and does what he's supposed to do. Y'all know where we stand with that. But again, like I said, I'm not interested in watching any Jake Paul fight. I don't care who he's fighting. Even if he was fighting Tank, I wouldn't be watching. Now that he's fighting Anthony Joshua, I respect it a little bit more because he's got a guy that's actually closer to him in weight. Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger this time around, but at the same time, you're fighting another a heavier guy that's along the lines and closer to him in weight than fighting a Tank Davis. So I respect it from that aspect, but at the same time, there's reasons why I don't like Jake Paul being able to get involved, excuse me, with real fighters simply because I know Jake Paul was brought up as an entertainer, and when you deal with entertainers, no matter what you're dealing with, there's always going to be some type of hidden rule or hidden regulations or hidden stipulations in these contracts that they come up with. So I don't like when you kind of mix entertainer, YouTube into the sport, and well, any sport for any matter, because there's always going to be some rules that help kind of sway the odds in their favor. But at the same time, if I was to watch it, I would be hoping that Anthony Joshua would get in there and take it serious and actually do away with Jake Paul like he should be able to do. But like I say, I just gave y'all an insight on who I think is going to win the fight. Like again, like I say, I'm not watching it, but I am going to take Anthony Joshua in this fight, whether it's unanimous, split, knockout, whatever. I'm glad it actually counts, so something can actually start, kind of venturing, Jake Paul away from the fight scene and get him more into promotional standpoint. Like I said, I love his promotional deals, his promotional bids is awesome. But him as a fighter, I'm not interested in. It doesn't excite me. And he didn't pour blood, sweat, and tears from a young into the sport. So y'all know where I stand with that. So that's why I kind of steer away from and stay away from the Jake Paul thing. But again, I'll take Anthony Joshua in this fight. Again, I know there's going to be some stipulations that kind of keep Anthony Joshua from being a true boxer and fighter that he is, he's trust me, I know. But at the same time, I'm not really interested. I'm not gonna be watching it.
It's very interesting for me. I'm kind of torn. Um, Anthony Joshua's coming off a loss. Um, you know, who else can he fight as far as that's left for him to fight? So, part of me say I'm gonna watch it. Part of me like I ain't gonna watch it. I'm not gonna count, right? Now if I'm busy doing something, I'm gonna make sure I'm available for a Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. No, but if I'm just sitting around, ain't nothing on, ain't nothing to watch, and it happens to be on, I might watch it. You know what I mean? Um, Now this is a no brainer for me. I got Anthony Joshua body bagging and toe tagging Jake Paul, sending him back to Nickelodeon, sending him back to Disney Channel, sending him back to whatever kids channel he came from. That's what I got. Um, like I said, I understand the fight. It's a good money play. You know what I mean? But to me, like I said, Jake Paul ain't no real fighter. You know what I mean? But he trying to prove a point. I think he biting off more than he can chew. That's just my perspective. This is my opinion, and I think that I don't see how he beat Anthony Joshua. All I gotta say is this: if Jake Paul knock out Anthony Joshua, it's scripted. That's all I'm gonna say. Get mad at your mama, not me. If Jake Paul knock out Anthony Joshua or beat Anthony Joshua, you already know what happened.